Hey everybody, I got a really cool video for you today. A golf ball eating alligator, and it'll teach you not to play around with those alligators. And I met up with somebody special at the Mexican restaurant, and we're going to do some comments and questions. Let's go ahead and get started. How you doing? I'm Rusty Nelson, and welcome. This is a channel where we talk a little bit about the villages and retirement and all kinds of things like that, or we may go out on restaurant reviews. Who knows what we're going to do? It's just a fun way for me to vent and use a little creative talent and have some fun. Plus that, I get to meet a whole bunch of really cool people. If you didn't see it, I just did one on the outdoor expo over at Everglades, and that was kind of fun, so check that one out. And today, a really fun video of a golf ball eating alligator, and teach you don't mess with them alligators. Don't get near the edge of that water, especially when you got little animals. But as we found out in some recent activity, don't get near the ponds and lakes, okay? Because they get hungry, especially when they don't have a whole lot to eat. Anyway, let's go ahead and just get started on some of these first questions and answer type things. And they come from the comments, and really appreciate people that participate in the comments and people that answer back and help other people out. That's what it's all about. And it kind of makes it fun for everybody. And I'll apologize right now. Sorry that I don't get to all of them. It's just kind of impossible anymore. I tried for a long time, but I do read, let me assure you, every single one. Let's get started on the first comment. The first question deals with home warranties. Now, I did a video just actually a year after I bought my house, and it was about the inspection that I had done at the year's end, because that's when your main warranty runs out, where the builder is taking care of everything in your house up to that point, that year point. For those of you that haven't purchased a house or are going to purchase a house in the future, you definitely want to schedule an inspection about a month before you're ready to, at the 11-month point, you want to schedule it maybe right in there. And you need to schedule it kind of way ahead of time. I scheduled mine right when I bought my house. So I was almost a year out, I think, when I scheduled mine to make sure that I could get it then, because these guys get booked up. So if you want to watch that video, I will put the link down below. I know I've been absent-minded about putting those links down below, but I will try to do this. I'm trying a new way to remind myself to do it. But Bill Fine writes about this inspection. Oh, also in this inspection, I also show you at the end exactly what the report looked like. But Bill Fine wrote, this is a great video. What was the AC noise? And what was the electrical how's the overspray fixed? So let me explain one thing. So when I was out in the garage, all of a sudden I heard some clanking off and on in my AC unit, the HVAC system. And so I literally went with my phone and stopped and started it until I got it to make that clanking noise. And what it was the coils or something in there gets like really close to something else, and it goes like that. And that's all it was. So he just had to kind of separate two pieces of metal that were tapping against each other. But here's the point of me answering this question, is the fact that keep really diligent notes. And when you see something, take pictures of it with your phone. It's so easy to do these days. Do a video of it, because I had that video, and when the AC guy came in, I played it for him. He goes, no, right what it is. So that was what happened. Now, the overspray thing was, I would have never have noticed this. So when the guys came to do the inspection, they pulled the panel off, part of their inspection of the circuit breaker panel where the breakers are in there. And they actually pulled the cover off and looked behind it, because one of the problems is they overspray. The guys are in a hurry, they're running through and all this kind of stuff. So they actually had overspray on the panel itself. Now, in my case, the guy said that he would go ahead and he could replace it. But he says, Rusty, really, all I have to do is clean a couple of these things off and it should be good. And I said, okay, just put that in the notes because you always sign something when these guys come to fix things. So make sure you snap a picture of it, especially if you're not going to get a copy. And I'm telling you right now, keep a really good records of all this stuff because something closely related to this was I had a grout problem. And the same board, I had the ceramic tiles in here, and the same board, the grout kept coming up on it. Well, 2 weeks afterwards, they fixed it. 2 weeks after my year was up, sure enough, the grout came up. And when I called the warranty department back, I said, hey, it's the same problem. And they said, oh, well, no, you have to call the flooring company now because it's past the year. I said, no, this is one thing that was a reoccurring problem fixed that was done while we were in that year. You guys need to follow up on this, not me. Here's the pictures. Here's the documentation. When they did that, of course, they went back and did it. So that's it. That's basically the gist of that is make sure you keep good records. Don't rely on your brain. Take some pictures with your phone. Let's go ahead and jump on to another question. This next one deals with bugs. And it's kind of funny because I just got like this. I'll put 3 of these comments up or questions up because they deal with different kind of bug stuff. But I'm just going to tell you kind of like what I've experienced as far as bugs go down here. Let me start out when I thought about first coming down here. All I could think about was, oh my God, I'm going to be out there. I hate bugs. They're like these giant water bug things or whatever they are. And there's going to be like just massive amounts of bugs. And I was going, yeah, I don't like that kind of stuff, right? So the only thing when I first came down here that surprised me, I haven't seen any bugs. And people that don't live down here, I'd love to hear other people's comments. I haven't seen any bugs where I am. Now, I don't back up to the woods. I do have water right behind me. And I just haven't seen any bugs. Mosquitoes, as far as basically about mosquitoes, they do spray around here. They try to stay on top of them. I don't know the exact process that they do it, but it hasn't been a problem. But I'll just read 3 of these questions because they deal with kind of 3 different areas. And then we'll talk about this in a few more seconds. But the first question, Shauna writes, we are considering getting a home that backs up to a retaining pond, which is what I have and Bob and Liz has. And we're wondering if the water from the retaining pond ever smells or if you have found that the pond attracts more bugs. So here we go with the bugs things. Love your videos, blah, 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 blah. And then Caroline writes, really enjoy your videos and realize how much the villages strive to preserve nature. Yes, big time. This is the recent video that I did about the boardwalks. I'm visiting my BFF next month and wanted to check them out. Do you think people should bring bug spray on their nature paths? And then the last one from Florida, Clay says, so inviting, what's the mosquito situation? Would I be advised to spray off before they go out on these boardwalks? Now, obviously, I went out and this was a video I did on just these nature boardwalks. They're not very long. I was there early in the morning. I was not there late at night. I did not experience any bugs at all. Now, it may be different late at night, but you're not supposed to be there after dusk anyway. Jumping back to my whole experience about the bug thing, the only thing was I bought a new home that was a newly constructed area. And the biggest thing I had a problem with the first year was massive amounts of spiders. I mean, they were all over the place outside. And I literally kept up with them by knocking their webs down with a brush. And then I would spray them when I saw them because most people don't realize that those bug sprays that you spray on stuff, it's like kill on contact. It's not, you don't put it up there and you put it up there and leave it, the spiders just walk around it. You literally have to go out and nail them on contact, and that's the way you kill them. The only problem I really have is just back along the fence that I have that is, kind of along the retaining pond I have in the back. When I first came here and they were building over by Homestead, which is a lot of kind of moisture, swampy areas, there was a ton of mosquitoes. Now, I don't know whether they've corrected that or sprayed for it, but they do in the ponds have bubblers out there. And I know that Shauna, I think, or one of these yeah, Shauna, that Liz is really good about jumping on here and answering questions. I think she kind of answered that for you, that they really don't experience any bug problems either. I'll kind of update this as the year goes along and I'm down here more, but I have to admit, I have really nothing inside. And every once in a while, I'll spray around. I got rid of my bug pest control people, except for the termites. I have the termite stuff once a year just to keep my bond in force, and you'll learn about that when you get down here. But anyway, that's about it. The bugs have not been a big problem. If you have a problem with mosquito bites, you might want to spray yourself a little bit. But these walks were very short. So that's the gist of the bug things for me. I'd love to hear in the comments how other people, what they've experienced with bugs. Here is an update on SantaCon South. That is, it kind of rolls into this next little video that I have. But so SantaCon, a lot of you went to SantaCon last year South. And we had called it a pub crawl and stuff. So to differentiate ourselves from the folks that are, it's another group that's doing it up north, we're going to call it SantaCon South this year. So that's it. And we'll make a few more announcements on that. But I can tell you the date, 95% sure is going to be December 9th. And that's about all we know right now. But it should be pretty good this year. There's going to be some fun stuff, but Patty, Tim, and myself will let everybody know. But speaking of that, while I was out the other night at the Mexican restaurant, I was waiting in line, and all of a sudden, this gentleman came up next to me and said hello. Now, I'll tell you what, like I said, you meet a lot of fun people in the villages, and this surely was a fun one. I'm down here I'm at the Mexican place, and I ran into somebody that most people will know. If you don't know him, I'm very sorry, but I met Santa. Yeah. So Santa's waiting in line for a margarita with me. So
right here.
Yep. And I met Santa badge. So if you think the Villages is not a good place to go, think again.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's always fun meeting folks down there, having a good time. And that was Bob, a friend of mine, sticking his head in there. Everybody's a ham, right? Yep. Anyway, that was a lot of fun meeting Santa. You didn't expect that down there, just waiting in line for your margarita. And let's jump on to the next one here. Connie writes, not on topic, but it doesn't appear to me that there are any USPS post offices in the Villages. And I started thinking about that for a second. I'm going, I'm not 100% sure there are actually any right in the Villages. So I looked it up, and here is a diagram. And if you take a look at this at the post offices, they are actually kind of all surrounding the Villages. So I guess that's right. I guess there are not actually any physical post offices in the Villages. Now, I'm sure, as everybody knows, those that lives here, we have our own little postal stations that usually has a pool attached to it and that type of thing. But there's not actually a post office that I could find. If you know where one is, please put it down in the comments, and I will pass that along for sure. On to the next one. I know it probably seems like a pretty easy process getting these videos done, but it actually takes a while. And not only does it take a while to do the videos, it also takes a while to get them into YouTube, because there's a lot of stuff you have to fill out to actually do it. So by the time I get done these things, I forget some things. And DD Aerial Photography writes, you didn't put the links in your videos or in the descriptions. What's up with that? You say that you are, and put it on the video and put it down below, but they're not there. So the simple fact is when I get to that time, I'm just so tired. I kind of kick it up there and I forget to put some of those links in there. The thing is, when I point up there like that, if you're watching it on TV or something like that, or different types of media, you won't see those links. But if you're on your computer or a lot of times on your phone, you'll see those links. As far as putting them down below, I'll tell you what, I just simply forget. And also some of them I forget to put the chapters in because you can look on the timeline down below and skip from chapter to chapter, but I will try to do a better job of that coming up. So Dee, keep track of me and I'll try to do it. Next video. And then after that, I think we're going to do the golf ball eating alligator. Actually got a couple questions about the dog parks after I did the boardwalk video, and I will put the link down below, I promise. So when I did the boardwalk video, I didn't realize that it says right there, when you go to the boardwalks, you're not supposed to have dogs there. And so I went in and asked, I go, how come dogs aren't allowed there? And there's two main reasons they said. One reason is because they're confined. An awful lot of people out there, elderly people and stuff like that, don't like dogs and they're afraid of dogs. And there's no place for them to go. So if you're walking along the boardwalk, they're kind of confined. And, you know, I love people that have dogs and I love dogs, but not everybody likes dogs. So since it is a confined area, they ask you to please not bring the dog. The other reason was when I was down to Okahumpka, the person that was there said, every morning I go out there just about, and there's dog poop somewhere. People don't pick it up. And the problem is on the boardwalks, they can't just pick it up. They literally have to go out, they told me, and wash it off with soapy water. So, you know, have some respect for the people that work there. Have some respect for the people that don't have dogs and maybe afraid of the dogs because they can't get out of that little narrow boardwalk area. So that's the reason. But Sindra writes, and Christine wrote, the two of the people that wrote a few of the things about, I would really enjoy seeing more dog parks and dog-friendly trails. Thank you. And would love to see a video of the various dog parks. Well, that's a great idea. And I think I'm going to go do that this week. And I will try to get that out for you guys to check that out, because I kind of like to see what they look like. I've seen a couple of them. I know some of them have different things. And I think there are some dog parks kind of locally right outside the bubble here, outside the villages, which might be interesting. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll follow up on that. Thanks for the suggestion. Really appreciate it. But now, speaking of animals and people being afraid of, you got to check out this video of, this is down at Marsh Bend. So this is a small chip and putt type of golf course. And some friends went out there, and when you look at this video, what they're doing is they are actually up on a ledge. It's like probably 5 feet high, and it's along a pond. And they hit some golf balls in the water. So they went to go get golf balls. And when they went to go get the golf balls, this is what happened. And sorry, I got to beep a couple of the words out because I do. Here goes.
Golf or fishing game. Never had him do that before.
No, you got to get a video of him.
I am watching.
Oh shoot! There's a ball, 2 balls right here.
Get him.
It's an orange one too.
Don't let him stop you.
He's gonna grab the fucking thing, and then you're gonna be out of ball game.
That's kind of crazy, actually. But don't get near the edge of the water. I mean, there was a recent picture of a woman walking along with her animal and actually got taken out and killed by an alligator. And let me tell you something, that gator came from like 10 yards out and nailed her right on the water. And there was actually video of it. So please be careful around the edge of the ponds. Don't walk your animals because you're not going to be fast enough. And the first reaction to the gator from the dog is to turn around and try to see what's happening. So you're not going to get away. You're not going to be able to run away. Those boogers are fast in a short distance. That's the way they eat. So please be careful. Anyway, this was a lot of fun. Enjoyed it. I'm happy to be back down here in the villages. Remember, December 9th, put it on your calendars. SantaCon South, we will keep you abreast of the new Facebook page, website. It's going to be new and some pretty cool updates with that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing and liking. I really appreciate it. And as always, I will see you down here in the villages, or I will see you back on YouTube. Have a wonderful day.